Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 3 of Scrum Sesh with Benson and Tom.
We made it to a third
Great
podcast. We've made it.
We did. That's what we said last episode. Apparently, it's something like 96 or 95% of podcasts don't make it to their third episode.
So we're here.
We've made it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We're done it.
Yeah, all right. This has been the Scrum Session with Benson and Tom, and no, we're here for a little while longer, I think. But I'll just point out what the hell happened. Okay, if any of you watched the podcast last week, you would have noted some of the outright predictions I had. I'll go through.
They were horrendous.
I'll just say with my tipping, I got two tips out of 8. I got the Dolphins and the Warriors winning. All the rest, I got wrong. So it's in the bin already. So
it was an unpredictable round, to be honest.
I mean, we went with logic, I felt, and that just kind of didn't play out, really, to be honest.
Not at all.
But it was a pretty decent round. So we'll go through it today. We'll go through that today. We'll give predictions for round 5 of the NRL competition, and then with our third segment, we're going to be going through. I've got a website up here. Highest paid salaries in the NRL. I'm going to be going through them. I'll read them out, and I'll give Benson to give me a overrated, fairly rated, or underrated prediction, or whether he thinks they are worth that salary or not. So we'll go through that, and starting off, we're going to do our round 4 review. I'll just get Benson's opinion on what he thought of round 4.
Well, guess who's top of the ladder now? Guess who's top? It is the Dolphins.
All the bandwagon teams.
Top of the NRL ladder for the first time in their very short history.
Very short history.
But then again, it's only early days because the teams are versus quite shit. But the round overall, it was a good round.
There are a lot of good games in here.
And for a lot of players being, like, key players being out.
Yeah.
It was still a great round.
Like, with the exception of maybe Dolphins and Titans, or maybe the Broncos and Cowboys, there wasn't really any fairly substantial blowout games this round, I feel.
Yeah, that's true.
Most of the teams were close or not, had points where they could win the game, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll go through. We'll start off with the first game of the round, Penrith versus the Roosters. Penrith taking the win 22-16 at Roosters' home ground. It was a close game. They debuted young Maverick Geyer, son of legendary Penrith forward Mark Geyer. And even without Cleary, they showed they still are one of the best teams in the competition. I think Dylan Edwards, whenever Cleary isn't there, he kind of takes that prominent role in that team.
Yeah. So,
and there was a fairly big calls in this game, mainly to do with the obstruction ruling. I think it was to do with the Joseph Manu try. Jared Royer-Hargreaves ran into the line, changed his line to avoid the referee, and made contact with Dylan Edwards. Now, Manu went over in the corner, and Edwards was 5 or 10 metres from the goal post. So there's the argument there, would he have made it to make that tackle? We don't know, but there's been a fair bit of controversy surrounding that. So what did you think?
Yeah, there was a lot of kind of shitty calls. You could say.
Yeah, there's a few.
Oh, no.
Well, then the argument was made because I think Dylan Edwards, I think he set up the try. Charuva went over in the corner, I believe, for his second try, and the same thing happened. I think one of the Penrith players, one of the Roosters defenders, I think it was Tupanua, was impeded. Now, this was way back on the inside, and there's no way that were tackles were made, but if you're going to make the if you're going to rule one thing and blow it up for a no try, and another thing that is similar and it's not a penalty or doesn't disallow a try, then there's a bit of a discrepancy in the rulings there. So I think people will go on about it because throughout all the games on the weekend you could hear commentators just going on about obstruction rules, and I think it was Gus made a comment about obstruction and had to refrain. He said, "Oh, I shouldn't say that because there's been a fair bit of indiscrepancy." Yeah, but Penrith fairly comfortable win. Yeah.
Yeah, Taruva with hat-trick of tries, actually. 3 tries.
He's shaping up to be a fairly good winger and fairly good try scorer for him. Yeah. I think Penrith will have him for a while. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. He'll be a pretty solid winger for them, but we'll move on.
The Dragons wanted to get him, but
True.
It's the Dragons. I'm sorry, Dragons fans.
So, sorry, Dragons fans. I think he's at Penrith for quite a while longer. But we'll move on to South Sydney versus the Bulldogs. Now, I tipped Bulldogs in this game.
Yeah.
And I think they had every right to do.
Yeah. Whiten actually scored 2 tries in this one. So maybe he was the one that changed the game.
His first appearance as a South Sydney Rabbitoh, he scored a double, which was good. And Rabbitohs winning 20-16. I noticed in this game, every time Latrell got the ball, he was ceremoniously booed, I think, throughout the game. But I think in one instance, they made a break down the sideline. I think it was the first sin bin I can recall. First sin bin I recall. There might have been another one early in this season, but first sin bin I recall was an ugly tackle on Cam Murray. Lifting tackle. I know there's a bit of a easy way to defend, but it looked quite bad from Murray's point of view. And there was a funny instance, I don't know if you saw it. Matt Burton, they couldn't get a tee out there in time and the clock was still running down, so he just places it on the turf and just takes a swing at it and actually does a better kick than most of us can probably manage. Like, I can't kick a ball off a tee usually, and this guy kicked it off the ground. Did you see that?
I actually didn't see that. See, that's a new thing I didn't see.
Yeah. That was the thing too. They scored and needed to kick the goal, and then had time. They would have had time for one more play, but clock kept running down and no tee. They didn't stop the clock, so Burton just went, "Screw it, I'll kick it off the ground." Missed the goal and went, whatever. But I don't know, would they have won the game if they stopped the clock and they did allow him to kick the goal? Not too sure. But I think the Bulldogs, it's good signs from them. I think there was a few breaks in play from this game, but I think they were able to shut it down. And I think there's a quick tap from Stephen Crichton. They got the last try as well. Yeah.
A lot of the tries seem to be in the first half, so maybe defensively, the Bulldogs were a bit weak in the first half, letting a few in, but they scored a few in the first half. So it was probably even. It was pretty even contest.
Yeah, Dogs were leading before half time, and then South scored pretty early on in the second. So I think they got off to a good start in the first half, and then South came back firing. So that's a fair bit of thing.
I think
but
the penalty kicks actually might have won Souths the game. There was 2 of them, and both went through. So there you go. It was a close game.
Yeah. It was a close game. I think South are second last in the competition. I think that's their first win of the season, in fact.
Yeah, it was.
And Dogs have already won one, so they're bottom of the ladder, South Sydney. Only beating the Titans, who haven't won a game. But I think the Bulldogs are looking quite good going forward. And we'll have to see how they perform this week, I'd say. But we'll move on. Broncos 38 over the Cowboys 12 at Suncorp.
Reynolds. That's all I have to say.
Know what I have to say? Corey Oates Corey Oates is back, and how
Scored his
we know
first
Corey
try.
Oates is back is because he can score tries no matter where he is on the field.
It's good to see.
It is good to see him. Also had the appearance from Tristan Saylor at fullback, son of Broncos great Wendell. He is a decent player. Everyone's seeing good signs from him. I'll get your opinion on this, Benson, but
Yeah, all right.
I don't know where you put Tristan in that team if you have to put him somewhere, because
I think you just put him at the. I think you put him at 14. Like that utility kind of thing.
well,
But
I don't know because they've
I'm not
got
saying he should go in a team.
yeah, they've got Smoothie at 14, which I think is good to give Billy a bit of a break, and you know that's a common thing a lot of people do is have another hooker on the bench to sub in and give them a bit of spark when it's late in the half. I think Tristan Saylor's only young too, so he's got a bit of time.
I've heard people say he's a top 10 fullback.
And he's played a handful of games as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a bit of time, he will become.
Looks like a good prospect.
He will become a good player. He's a good player. He just needs a bit more time, I think. I think maybe if Broncos go long way through the season, they can maybe rest Reese in a few of those games where they don't feel absolutely threatened to lose. Just to give Reese a bit of rest.
Yeah. I think that could be a good shout because it also gives them more depth in that back, which is always useful.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And also, I don't know if you picked up, they had the retro jersey on. Same jersey that Tristan's father Wendell actually played in. So it was a quite nice feeling for him, and probably a lot of the fans also found that moment quite nice. But Broncos,
I actually like the jersey. I'm kind of wanting that one. I was looking at it when I was watching the game. I went, oh.
Yeah, and the colours. A lot of people say the colours are a bit old-fashioned, but I actually enjoy. I like the colours on the jerseys. So they look pretty nice. So the long time they went away from the collars and they had the big, just like V, and I was like, yeah, it's alright, but and then they bring the collars back, and I was like, yeah, there we go. There's that history coming back through the jersey. But Broncos back in the winning books. I actually tipped the Cowboys in this game because I thought without Reese, their attack is really not that.
Well, I think I ended up at last minute changing to the Bronx. Don't know why I had a feeling, but still, I just have to say, Reynolds being in that team really helped.
Yeah, I think
his kicking game was good.
Yeah, I think his kicking game really stood out. I think they knew going in they didn't have that strike out the back, so Reynolds probably had to take a few initiatives. And in the wet weather, 2 tries scored off bombs. They were quite an attacking form, the Broncos, which is good. But we'll move on to arguably the upset of the round. Dragons 20 over Manly 12. Win Stadium.
When I saw this one, I was like, I had to double look. I was like, sure will this happen? Sure the Dragons did this?
Yeah, I don't know how they did this. It was ridiculous opening my phone to seeing Dragons beating Manly by 8 points. So I was just astonished until I watched the highlights of the game. Holy moly. This game looked red hot. You just look at the crowd during that game. Every time they do something, force an error, that crowd is just going right because they can feel. They could feel the win.
Yeah, the Dragons fans. They're feeling the win. But 2 tries from Oral Sloan.
Yeah.
2 conversions from the mystery man himself, the one that might be, ditching the club next season. Max.
Yeah. Cherry Evans equals the most amount of appearances for Manly, 309 games, equaling Cliffy Lyons. It's great to see that.
Club legend.
Club legend, I think.
By far.
I think he might be one of the best Manly players ever to put on that jersey. Yeah. With a few exceptions, maybe you put him in the likes of Cliffy, Beaver, an extensive try-scoring record as a forward. Cliffy and maybe Turbo might get up there in his later years if he keeps in form. I had written down 14-6 at half time to Dragons. Manly scored first in this game, but didn't until 4 minutes until full time. So I think it was just a little too late for Manly, and Dragons just kept using their momentum and that got them over the line. So Dragons with a win under their belt, and that positioned Titans as the only team not to win a game in the 2024 season.
Well, yeah, this is the thing, right? When games like this happen, it makes the whole table just shook up because Manly hadn't lost a game. Yeah. And they were, everyone's just clear favourites. You look at the tipping side, everyone was tipping Manly. Yeah. Everyone expected Manly to be, on that thing, but this loss now, puts them a bit lower. Yeah. That's what makes it a bit more entertaining because these teams can, come and do this.
Yeah, I think that this game, and there's a few others after this game, it makes it a really good sign for just rugby league fans in general that this season's going to be an enjoyable one because it's not always the expected. I think last season there was a lot of that. It was
previous seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was just who's on the ladder higher so they win. But there's a lot of the unexpected happening. This game in particular showed that. I think the Manly hype train was slowed down a bit. I think Manly are still in good form. Manly are still a good team. I'm sure they'll bounce back, but I'm happy Dragons got a win. And I think the fans deserve that. Have next game Dolphins and the Titans. Dolphins winning 30-14 over the Titans. What do you think of this game?
Dolphins looked. What's the word for it? Well, I would say it, but you know what? Fuck it. They looked shit in the first half. They looked horrendous. All right. But I feel like that's just a Dolphins style of play. They kind of let in a lot of pressure in the first half. Yeah. And then in the second half, Wayne Bennett does what Wayne Bennett does, probably gives them a bit of a beating, and then they get back into gear.
If you look at scored two tries early on. Dolphins came back firing.
Yep. It wasn't really... It was only till the last 10 minutes of the first half that the Dolphins actually really scored. So... Not really, I don't like the win because it's not like they were consistent throughout the game. Yeah. But it was more of a late, let's just pile on some pressure now because we're in a bit of a shitty situation.
And it was the tale of two halves, I think. That first half, Titans on top, they come back and they kick it out on the full in the second half. And that for me, that is just a sign that it's going to go downhill in a hurry for you. I hate that when that happens with teams. So when you kick it out in the full, it is just they get an extra. They start from your halfway line and have an advantage essentially until they score. There is no way to kind of recover from that. And I mean, Dolphins weren't consistent, but the Titans, they were better, to say the least. They'd scored one try in 2 games previously, and they scored 2 in 13 minutes against the Dolphins in the first half. So it's good signs that they're getting to score points. I mean, there was a problem in years gone by where they couldn't score points, but they're definitely doing well. The first
They
half
have a
was
lot
pretty
of
good.
potential. Like, this is the thing, that Titans have a lot of potential. They have Jaden Campbell, Brimson,
Tanner Boyd at 7 is
Hannah Boyd.
a decent player. I think he suffered a bit of the pressure. I think he got 1 from 3 in conversions, and that's probably a bit of pressure as well. I think if he got those 2 other kicks, they would have been 20 points up, maybe. Bit more.
Yeah.
18, 20 points. So they would have had a bit more pressure on the Dolphins, but I mean, it was just a pretty poor effort by the Titans in that second half.
Yeah.
And your team, the Dolphins, going well.
Yep.
Top of the table.
But early days. It's not versus the best teams yet, so can't really say much, can you?
Yeah, I think we're finally getting to the point, probably after this round, I'd say.
We'll get sorted out.
The ladder will be kind of sorted, because there's been enough where there'll be some people who've won almost every game. And there'll be some people who haven't won a game at all, so it'll kind of balance out. Cowboys' first loss, so everyone has lost a game. Titans' only team not to win.
Yep.
Yeah, they'll get there eventually, the Titans, but might take them a while. But
Maybe
we'll
not.
move.
Yeah.
We'll move on though. Move on. Warriors 20, Knights 12. Yeah, what a cracker of a game this was.
Yeah.
Just seeing the Warriors attack. It's unreal.
Warriors played. Look, I like the Warriors. That's why I put them top 4. You know,
Yeah.
as much as you said they wouldn't, but yeah, well, and Shaq, he played well this game.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's that one piece of play where he did 2 left foot steps, bumped off Adam Elliott, just made about 25 meters, 30 meters. I was like,
I'm sorry.
this guy.
This is
Oh my
this is
God.
not looking good.
No,
I need to sort this out.
We're back.
Right.
We've had so
Okay.
many problems, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cut this out in the edit, but this might be the longest episode we've ever had to record.
Mate, they don't want us to make a 3rd episode.
No.
Honestly.
To reveal the lengths we've had to go to, Benson's headphones aren't working. So I can talk to him through Discord, but he can't hear me. So I've got Snapchat open on my phone. So that's how he can hear me.
Yeah.
And then we're recording the Discord call.
I've gone through 3 sets of headphones.
And it's not good. Meanwhile, the Bose sound noise cancelling with the cord.
No,
not a single fault, so yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, where were we? Well,
We were at the Warriors game.
I was
and then
gonna
I cut out for the 2nd or 3rd time.
Alright, I'll just skip over this. The Warriors, alright, Warriors won, good. Knights lost, yeah. Alright, so that's alright. I had the notes, but I'm just gonna literally just go skim through this. Metcalf fractured his leg, so he's gone. Harris DeVita's come back. Knights, yeah, I don't know. Just clunky attack from Knights, and was best attack in the competition. Simple, plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I've got to say. Then just go Sharks, Raiders, whatever.
Yeah. No, Sharks, Raiders, good game.
Yeah, Sharks 36, Raiders 22.
I mean, they're probably pissed from losing to the Tigers last week.
Yeah.
I would be too.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Raiders were coming off a loss as well. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So they're both looking to get.
They were tied at
win
half
back.
time as well.
And in Rapana's 200th game, yeah, it was pretty good, but I think there's a few lapses in the Sharks defense. I think Xavier Savage try, he beat 3 players.
Yeah.
And then from then on, the bounce of the ball just went to the Sharks, and they just equalised. They only conceded 1 try in that second half, I think. And then Nico Hines goal kicking, he had 6 from 6, and he had the one that impresses me is I think he's a right foot kicker. I think.
Yeah.
Right foot kicker from the right hand side, which is hard to do, and just bends it and gets it through the post. No. It was ridiculous, and I think that's what got them over the line as well.
Another player I'm really liking from the Sharks is Ronaldo.
Monotalo, yeah, he's alright. I'm enjoying Tom Hazelton more because I like his name, but yeah, he always comes out big, tall bloke, tape round his head already before the game. Solid unit, and yeah, he's a decent player. A lot of that Sharks team, they've got a few, like Cameron McInnes and Dale Finucane are 2 expert forwards that any team would be lucky to have one of them, but 2 of those star people, they're in a good spot. Good spot. Power, yeah. Good spot. They've got some good edge forwards, good centers, wingers. Will Kennedy, still a good fullback, but I think he still needs a better performance, I'd say, even though they won. It's probably looking to be that little bit better. But I think Sharks, it's a good win for them. But the Milk, second loss in a row, they'll have to turn it around.
Is the Milk train gone? Is the milk train leaking?
I don't know. They might have to change cows and they get a different cow to start milking. But the Canberra Milk is on its way.
Alright.
We'll go to the last game of the round. What the hell?
It's a good game though. Best defense we've seen from the Tigers in ages.
Yes, and it's also defense by the Tigers is just a sentence that no one has heard for a while, so it is unbelievable that has worked. Dylan Brown, third game as NRL halfback, I found out. The Tigers scored first, and that Galvin and Olam combo, I think it's the left-hand side, is just lethal.
Yep.
Galvin just puts it into a hole and Olam just jumps on the ball and scores.
And I know everyone's been talking about it. I've seen it all over my page, but Galvin, the next Cleary, especially after that pass to Dream Buller.
I don't know how he got... I watched that 4 times from different angles. I still don't know how he got that ball away. That was ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. He just looks like he's been playing for 5 years already. He's 5th year in the league or something. Just looks natural. Yeah. I mean, I think I heard Benji say in the preseason he was topping all the fitness contests and trials. So he's got that drive. He's got that drive, which is good to see. And the ugliest looking field goal I have ever seen. I think I have kicked better balls than that. Blind, like just not looking. I don't know how Caesar got that over, because I watched the kick again. It's just he just drops it and kicks it. It nearly hits the crossbar. It's that low.
No, I saw it. Yeah,
it was. Oh my god, it was such an ugly kick.
It'd be funny if they missed.
But then, honestly. I mean, off the kickoff, they conceded the penalty. They almost lost. If it wasn't for Gutho missing, and if Moses was there and he missed it as well, if Moses was kicking, I don't know if he gets it. But I mean, if they got that goal, then Parramatta would win. But I think the Tigers deserve that. They've been
good win.
They've been working hard. It's everyone's like so far. I mean, everyone's like happy. Anyone who's a fan of any team is happy the Tigers are winning. And Parramatta are no bad team as well. Yeah.
I mean, they're weakened, but it's still a good win. I'll give it to them.
Yeah. And then they had Melbourne with the bye. So that was round 4. I think it was a good round, but there is better to come. ladies and gentlemen, there is always the next round, and just looking over, there's a few good games,
Start
and
with
there's
Thursday
a few
night.
that could go either way. Yeah.
Thursday night. It's going to be a good game, I think. Storm, Bronx at Amy Park
In Melbourne.
in Melbourne. Yeah.
Who have you gone for?
You know what? All the boys. I'm pretty sure all the firepower for Storm's back. Cameron Munster, Christian Welsh, Jerome Hughes, but I'm gonna actually go Broncos taking this one.
Well, that's right. I was just looking at, as you said, Munster, Welsh, Hughes back in that team, nearly full strength. I think
It'll be closer than the It'll be a lot closer. It'll be a very close game. I think it'll go down to like a field goal.
Yeah.
But I think the Bronx might. For some reason, I'm still tipping them.
Yeah. Broncos. I think they're debuting Benjamin Takura, 15 off the bench. Same team as last week. Tristan Saylor at full back. Corey Oates still on the team, which I'm happy about. But I think Melbourne with those boys back. Munster still maybe a bit ginger with his injury, but I've gone Melbourne Storm, and it's a margin game, so I've got a margin of 6 points for that game.
Yeah. So very different, but let's see how we go. All right, next game. Dogs versus Roosters. Now, honestly, your brain would say Roosters. I'm gonna say Roosters, but you never know. The Dogs could just pull out a win.
Yeah, I mean, with the Bulldogs, Jacob Preston and Josh Adokar are out of the team. I think injury or other related issues.
You know what? Looking at this team as well, like I'm just looking at the team, and the Dogs have a very good potential, very good. Just glancing over it.
Yeah,
A lot of these players are top players. Come to the Dogs.
Josh Curran, number 12. Their backline's pretty solid. Bulldogs. They've got Crichton and Tracy are pretty good on that edge. Blake Taft's doing some wonders. Matt Burton is probably their main man in that team. Roosters. Say what you want.
I like the Roosters. Dom Young, he's probably gonna. One thing you can guarantee is Dom Young's gonna score a try. But I'm actually liking Sam Walker. Like I said this week. I like Sam Walker. I like the team. They should be going for top 4, even top 2.
Yeah.
This team.
Couple changes to Roosters forward pack. Lindsay Collins, number 10. Nat Butcher, Angus Crichton, the 2 edges. Victor Radley, 13. Tupanua, bench. And Connor Watson, number 14. I've gone for the Roosters in that game.
Yep. I've gone same.
We'll move on. We've got Knights and Dragons. Now, this could be interesting.
Ooh. You know what? This, like I said, it could be very interesting. Could honestly go either way.
Jackson Hastings back at 7 for the Knights.
Yep. I don't know why they got rid of him in the first place, to be honest. I know they were trying to switch stuff up, but
they've done what they've done what they should have done. They've got rid of Tyson Gamble and put Jack
Gagai's back in as well.
Gagai back. Ponga still alright. Jaden Brayling starting 9. Phoenix Gosselin moved to the bench.
Yeah. This is gonna be a close game. I'm gonna say Knights though. Knights at Newcastle.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's too hard to go away from home teams this week.
It will be a close game, very close, but I'm edging towards the Knights for some reason.
True.
All right, we're flying through this next game. Rabbitohs versus Warriors.
South's home game.
But I still think the Warriors are going to win this one. I see your hesitation in your face. You're like, not sure. but I'm gonna say Warriors. That's my call.
Well, there's a few changes in the order. Nickel Clockstad's back at fullback. Tamari Martin in number 6 for the Warriors.
Capewell out.
Yeah, April's out.
Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf's gone. I think Tamari Martin's probably a good choice. I mean, they had Harris DeVita in there as a late call, and he played quite well, I thought, but I think
Obviously.
they'll see how that goes. And then obviously South, Dean Hawkins still number 7. Damien
South's
Cook,
got a great
number 9.
team. They have an amazing team, but they just yeah. Is what's his name? Oh,
Johnston.
I don't think no. I'm looking for him. Maybe I'm blind. Oh no, Jack Whiting's there.
Yeah, well, Benson.
His number.
I don't mean to be mean, but have you got the team list open?
Yep.
Can you go ahead and read the number 2 for the South? Just, I'm not really sure how you go about that name.
That's crazy.
That has got to be the longest name I have ever seen as a last name.
Isaac. Oh, okay, Isaac.
Okay, the Isaac's alright. He's got a Z instead of S, so that's fine.
I know you zoom in on this one. Alright.
To Titupua. Titupua Thompson.
I'm sorry if we're butchering this. I'm sorry.
Brother has 2 last names.
Yeah,
it's not even a hyphen.
So?
Oh my god! I've just realised 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. 5 guys have hyphenated names in the Warriors side.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah, I'm going.
I'm sorry we butchered that, but yeah. Anyway,
this is
It's a close game, but I'm still feeling the Warriors.
Yeah, Warriors. Experience half. I think we'll get him there. Sean Johnson.
All right, this game's actually all right as well. Seagulls versus Panthers at Brookvale.
This is interesting. 89% of people on tipping have gone for Penrith, which I think might be a mistake because I think the power of the Travojevic brothers will pull through.
We said this last week. We thought the Roosters might, because I honestly think the Roosters have a slightly better team. Unpopular opinion, but slightly better team than the Eagles.
Fisher Harris back for Penrith.
I'm gonna go Penrith.
I'm going against you. I'm going Manly in that game. Home team. Saturday afternoon, prime time for Manly boys.
And it's also Saturday evening is a battle of first and sixth, as some Tigers fans have been hyping up this whole week. We won't mention who, but he knows who he is.
Oh god, I think I'm going to this game with him too, so this is going to be
Dolphins versus West Tigers at Suncorp.
I'm going to this game. I don't know if I'll film any of it, but I'll go. I don't know.
You know what?
Mark Nichols is on the bench. How dare you? How dare you? Mark Nichols is a saint. He is a legend. He is the next immortal. Mark Nichols is the best player in the NRL. I don't care about Nathan Cleary. I'm saying Mark Nichols is the GOAT.
I wouldn't say that, but
I'm saying it. I'm saying it. That's my guy. It's my guy. Don't you diss Mark Nichols. He's my guy. He's my guy.
You know what? Could go either way, but I'm gonna go Dolphins.
I'm going Tigers.
I don't know. I'm gonna go Dolphins.
I watched the Dolphins.
I'm not trying to be biased, but
I watched them last time played at Suncorp. Bad omens.
Yeah, but that was just first game, mate. And also, Tessie New was playing, and Sullivan was playing, and
yeah,
they're not even on the team now. Pretty much, they're just on reserves. So I know, it
Galvin
could go either
out.
way.
Oh, Jaden Sullivan's in though, not Galvin.
And what's his name's also in? Latu Fainu.
Fainu. Oh, there's two on the bench. Jesus.
Both the brothers.
Bro, what the hell? There's two. The bench is just the same names. Fainu, and then Alex and Alex. That's mad.
Oh, let's see how
Yep,
Latu does.
I've got Tigers over Dolphins, but I've got Mark Nichols man of the match.
That's a weird man to match. I'm not gonna lie.
It's Mark Nichols. If you don't give it to anyone else, you're stupid.
If I was gonna give a man a match to this match, I would say
Mark Nichols.
nah. I'm gonna say Caesar
Mark
or
Nichols.
not Mark Nichols, mate. Caesar or Osako. I'm giving.
Mark Nichols. We'll move on. We'll
Oh,
move
yeah,
on.
you love Mark Nichols.
Cowboys versus Titans. If
Alright.
if the Titans win this, it's gonna be upset because it is 99% Cowboys. And I think it's a unanimous decision. Cowboys, no brainer here.
Yeah.
Isaac Liu, Philip Sami out of that team, and Philip Sami was the only one looking like scoring on that weekend. I mean, they've done a bit of mixing and matching with the forward pack. David Fifita on the bench. Yeah, I think Cows get this done pretty convincingly, and after their loss to the Broncos, I think they'll be keen to get that one back.
I think so too.
Last game, Canberra and Parramatta. Canberra home game advantage.
Will the Milk get the win?
And
That's the question.
most people are gone from Canberra. Zach Hosking out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good game. This one could be a good game as well.
It's an interesting one too. I don't think there's any
I'm gonna
changes for the Parramatta
really.
team.
No.
But yeah, I've got
You know what?
Canberra.
I want to go Canberra. Yeah, I'm gonna go Canberra.
Yeah, Canberra.
Yeah, I'll go Canberra.
We'll have to see how that goes, and everyone has good luck with the tipping. Now, I do need to confess, last week, me and Benson had a slight bet.
What happened, bro? Hang on. Guys, okay, we're gonna continue this, but his Snapchat thing.
Oh, it just disconnected. Anyway.
Yeah, there you go. We're back. Alright, what were you saying, Tom?
We had a slight bet last week, didn't we?
Oh, yes. Yes, we did. I was about to mention this.
If
Alright,
you
so
don't
you wanna say what
know,
the bet is?
I'll explain to those people who didn't watch last week's. If you didn't, what are you doing? But last week, I bet Benson $10 that I would beat him in fantasy.
Now, how did that go?
I thought it went pretty well. I mean, if I was facing someone else, I would have won, but obviously I didn't, and it was looking good. I'd admit it. I'll just kind of go through what sort of happened, because it was looking good for me. Yeah, I think I was leading going in to the game.
You were. For most around, pretty much all the way, there wasn't really a contention until the Warriors game. And I went above. Oh no, actually, you were like from the Warriors game to the start of the Para West game, you were kind of leading, and I think I just slipped away. I'm gonna say that's Galvin, King Galvin, because I pulled him in. And
my God, yeah, you were ahead.
Because my halves were looking dire.
You were ahead until that Warriors game, and I pulled out a lead, and then you close the gap in the Cronulla game, and then you just shot up in that final game. So well done, you're $10,
I'm
Richard.
gonna say,
Although I will
Still undefeated,
I will be earning that back when the Warriors miss the 8th in season 2024.
not happening.
This could go catastrophic for me, because if the Warriors make the 8, I'm down $20 and I'm already down $10 to you. So,
hey, all I have to say is it's lonely at the top for me right now. 4 wins, no loss. Am I the king of fantasy? We'll see.
I haven't won a game. I'm not.
Reigning champion.
I'm 9 out of 10. But anyway, we'll move on. We're going on to Seg 3, which I mentioned at the start. I'm going to read out some of these names and give their value as according to this Wild World of Sports website. And I'll get Benson's opinion, and his is the final say. Overrated, underrated, fairly rated. And then we're going to go also whether his salary is granted or not.
Yeah.
So I guess underway. All right, we'll try and we'll go through this pretty quick. All right, I'll read it out and just bang off the rip. Jason Tambalolo, $900,000 a year.
Oh.
Signed signed on a 10-year deal in 2017.
Fairly rated.
Fairly rated, all right.
Past few years, bit lower, but I think fairly rated.
Yep, that's all right. Jake Trbojevic, $950,000.
Fairly rated.
Fairly rated. Junior Paulo.
I think he's a good player. He's underrated. Actually, no. I'll go. Can I say? I think Ben Trbojevic is. Oh, not Ben.
Jake
Trbojevic is underrated in my opinion.
Underrated.
Slightly.
Junior Paulo, $950,000.
Oh. I'm gonna go slightly overrated.
He's tied to the club until 2026.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say slightly overrated. Slightly.
Cam Murray, $950,000.
Underrated. Slightly. I like saying slightly, but
you can say fairly rated.
I'd say fairly. I'm gonna say fairly.
Yeah, fairly rated. Origin rep, Australian representative.
Yeah.
Tohu Harris, Warriors, $950,000.
How much?
950,000.
I'm gonna go fairly. I'm saying fairly for everyone, not like, he's a decent player.
Right. James Fisher Harris, $950,000.
Slightly overrated. Slightly.
What? All right, it's your opinion, but I mean, your opinion. I mean, wow, that's a big one. Right, I'm gonna say this name. I'm not gonna I'll read you the name and the value, and I think it will come to mind straight away. Latrell Mitchell.
Overrated.
Easy. Harry Grant.
Fairly.
Adam Fanua Blake.
Underrated.
David Fafita.
It's hard because it's the team he plays for. He's so detrimental for that team. I think he would be for a lot of other teams as well. So I'm gonna say fairly rated.
Tom Trbojevic.
At the moment, overrated. That's just my opinion.
James Tedesco.
Fairly rated, I'd say.
Nico Hines. 1.1 million.
I'd say that's fairly. Maybe even slightly more. I'd actually give him because he is one of the top two halves in the league.
Yeah. Payne Haas.
I say he's fairly rated. Maybe, yeah, no. I'm gonna go fairly.
Tino Fasua-Malawi.
How much is he getting paid?
Tino is getting 1.2 million.
Like I said, it's a team again. He is such a big part of that team, so I'd say fairly. Fairly.
He signed the biggest deal in Gold Coast history at the end of 2023. He's locked in for 10 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Jeez. Daly Cherry Evans, the most capped Manly player in history, 1.2 million bucks.
You know what? I'm gonna say slightly, very slightly underrated because of that pay.
Okay.
So slightly. There's a
Mitchell
lot of things he's done for that.
Okay. Yep. Mitchell Moses, 1.25.
Oh, overrated. That's just. I think he's still in that million range, but I don't think he's 1.2.
Yep. All right. Cameron Munster.
I'd say fairly. Just. It's borderline overrated, but yeah.
Nathan Cleary, 1.3 million.
Underrated, mate. You put that guy in any team. You put him in any team. Like, I know you're rolling your eyes, but you put that guy in any team, I think he's winning you a premiership. So, honestly, I'm surprised how much is he getting paid? 1.3?
1.3 million, yes.
I'd pay him 1.5, honestly.
3-time premiership winner.
Yeah.
4-time grand final appearance in a row. So
definitely immortal already. So,
and there's one more. Kalen Ponga, $1.4 million. In 2022, he signed a 5-year extension.
Yeah.
What you put in?
Still overrated.
Overrated. So those are all the highest paying players. Now, it's not all halves. It's Tino, Payne, sandwiched in between Nico and Cherry Evans. It's a big, beefy sandwich in between those two halves. And, I mean, it's pretty good. If you were going, I mean, when they had a kangaroo team, they literally looked at this list, I think, because they put Ponga fullback, Cleary 7, Munster 6, and then had Tino and Payne both in the team as well. So it works.
They're just trying to get the most expensive team they could possibly.
I think so.
Oh, who's highest paid players? Let's just chuck them in. It'll be alright.
Yeah. So hardly no underrated players.
Yeah, because I feel like those are a lot of detrimental players.
Some of them like overrated. There's a few.
There was a lot overrated.
Fisher Harris overrated.
Slightly. I know that's a big call, but I'd say the only one out of those was Jake because. I mean, I'm looking at pay, but like also their contribution.
Jake does a lot and doesn't get any praise, but he doesn't care. So
yeah,
he kind of deserves it. Oh well, ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 3 about wrapped up. It took us a long time to get here, but we did eventually. We did eventually get to the end.
Somehow.
Hot dams. Well, we've gone through our tips, we've gone through our predictions. Hopefully I could claw some respect back after having an absolute stinker of a tipping round
Before
last
we
round.
go, I was saying this to Tom. In the link tree, I'm gonna put probably a little thing where you guys can put your questions down below, and depending on how many questions are submitted each week, that could be our new third segment.
Big
Answering
Seg
you
3.
guys.
I'll throw to the audience.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you want to leave them in the comments,
That's all good.
you can do
as
that
well.
as well. But we're going to sign off for now. It's been the Scrum session with Benson and Tom. And we will see you for episode 4, hopefully next week.
Yep. We will. Alright. See you, ladies and gentlemen.
See you later, boys.